The first three chemicals that we've learnt about so far, dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, they're wonderful chemicals. They're so good for you. However, the final one, not so good. Oh yeah, this one's actually terrible for you. The fourth chemical is known as cortisol. It gets a red underline because it's evil. Now, with cortisol is evoked when we use our foundations poorly and we don't engage in our voice in a way that's going to be interesting for others to listen to. Worse than this, cortisol is also evoked when you do that paired with poor storytelling structure. When that happens, that's when cortisol is evoked. Now, this is what happens to your audience when you evoke cortisol. The first thing is that it decreases their level of creativity. It also decreases their tolerance. It decreases their memory retention. And the final thing I'll tell you in just a moment. I want you to experience a story that's going to evoke cortisol first. I will be the one that will deliver this. I'll deliver this right here for you. This is Vin evoking cortisol from you. All right, okay. Get rid of all the foundations and storytelling structure. I met my wife about 10 years ago in a bar called Distill. And I remember when I saw her for the first time, I walked up to her with a packet of cards. And then I showed her a piece of magic and she didn't like that at all. And then I left the bar, but then I wanted to see her again. So I went back to the bar 4 times in a row. And on the 4th time I saw, actually was it the 2nd time? I did see her the 2nd time, but I didn't have the courage to walk up to her. But then after that, on the 4th time, and the reason I didn't have courage to walk up to her the 2nd time was because that day she was surrounded by all her friends, and I didn't think it was going to be appropriate for me to walk up to her. That's why the 2nd time I didn't go up to talk to her. And then on the 4th, actually quickly just on the 3rd time as well. On the 3rd time when I went, when she wasn't there, I started to lose hope, and it was a really hard time for me. And then on the 4th time she was there, and then the 4th time I walked up to her. I didn't do the magic this time because I thought, it'd be cheesy. Instead, I asked her out for a coffee, and, we talked a little bit about which cafe we're going to go to, and she told me about which one was her favorite cafe, and it wasn't one of my favorite cafes, but it was hers. So I thought, that's fine. We'll go to your favorite cafe. And then we did go for that coffee. And, after that, 5 years later, we got married, and now we have a beautiful son named Xander, and we're really happy. I know that's a very long example, but I wanted to evoke lots of cortisol from you. Do you see what happens when I play my instrument poorly? I don't have good use of the foundations. And then more than this, I have bad storytelling structure. It's kind of frustrating, isn't it? This is why the final thing that cortisol does when you evoke it is it literally, quite literally, you are giving people... Dun, dun, dun. You're giving people cancer. You're actually giving people cancer. Research has shown that elevated levels of cortisol in your body does lead and can lead to the big C. So you want to be very careful when you storytell that you're not evoking cortisol. You want to be evoking dopamine, endorphins, and oxytocin, but not cortisol. Now you know the 4 chemicals that are released during storytelling. Let's talk about why storytelling is so powerful before we dive into the content and the how.